Ahmed, good evening.
Evening, Pascal.
I'm Pascal Cagni. I'm the ambassador for international investment and the chairman of Business France. I'm also a venture capitalist at C4 Venture, and it's a really unique privilege to welcome you here. Prior to give you the floor, I want to ask you quickly a question. What is the heat temperature in Saudi?
It's a lot warmer than here.
That's not a difficult question.
It's great to be here.
So let's recall the genesis of what we're doing here, right? Essentially, back in November 15 last year, we had the privilege to welcome your chairman, which I want to say hi to, which is Amin Nasser. He was actually exactly a year ago, 15th of November. It was 3 weeks prior that the French President Macron went to Riyadh to basically continue to develop the very unique relationship that we have with the Kingdom of Saudi. At that stage, we had in excess of 200 French companies trying to basically be there and trying to partner with you. I had the privilege to go to Dhahran, to meet with your team, to see the depth of Aramco. And from them, Madi Alader, which I see here, has been coming over on the dark evenings to visit the place. I went back twice there, and you decided to basically take by storm the Adopt AI and to really come to do this big announcement by which Aramco Venture is going to open an office here. For a country, which is France, which has been for 6-7 years in a row the most attractive country in Europe, we're just illustrating the job which has been done. Yes. Now, once this is said, I think it's very important you tell us the size, the depth of Aramco in few key figures.
Sure, great. So, Aramco, most people don't really understand Aramco because it's actually a unique entity, commercial entity. It is, of course, the world's largest oil company, but it goes much more beyond energy and oil. The fact is, it is the lowest, for example, carbon footprint oil in the world. We also have the lowest cost, the lowest energy consumption, and that all comes by investing in technology. It is unique in that we are from the entire value chain, from the well all the way to the final customer. Midstream, pipelines, wells, pipelines, gas plants, refineries, petrochemicals, retail, all of this entire value chain has data. And we have been, for 90 years, collecting that data. And that is what differentiates. We have the entire value chain and all the data associated. From early on, we were technology first, always trying to utilize the latest technology before the rest of the industry.
And actually, we should say that I heard that you've got in excess of 100,000 sensors throughout the kingdoms. And just as a size and a matter, you are kind of a powerhouse on the IT with a budget which is in excess of 2.5 billion and a 1.1 billion R&D budget. So tell us more about that. Tell us about your integrations of all of that.
Sure. So, we talk about IT. This is an IT for the group, basically. If you look at just, for example, our fiber optic network, 70,000 kilometers of fiber, 17,000 kilometers cross-country. We're talking about our computing. We have been in high-performance computing since the 1970s. The first Cray in the Middle East was actually installed in Saudi Arabia and Dhahran. So we have been building up our computing capacity over many years, about 10,000 GPUs just for high-performance computing. And of course, we're adding to that every other year. So this is the kind of infrastructure we rely on for our day-to-day business. And people don't really understand, that aren't in the business, that the oil and gas industry, because we are dealing with technology that's thousands of feet below the ground, that you can't see. There's no easy way to measure it. The only way you can make decisions is through data. You need to have, and the data is indirect, so you need to have models to be able to predict and make the right decisions. So from day one, the industry has been a very much model-dependent, data-dependent industry. And we have excelled, we believe, over the years in having the best models. So we developed, for example, our high-performance computing modeling technology in the 1990s, Powers, which is now Terra Powers, which handles 1 trillion cells simulation. And this is simulation of our reservoirs below the ground. No other model has that size. And the reason we had to develop it ourselves is because no one has the size of fields we have. So the unique types of problems forced us to build technology that no one has.
So essentially, you're telling us that you are not anymore only an energy company, that you are a computer, an IT, a technology powerhouse, both in terms of the talent you have been able to attract, as well as the investment you do. Now, obviously, I'm welcoming you in this beautiful Grand Palais with an objective which is celebrate my country, Europe, and the fact that aside of some key investment that you should mention you have done into our ecosystem today, you already decided to have a $7 billion AUM fund, Aramco Ventures, to put basically a yardstick here, which is for me very important because I need more capital, more talent, and also the ability to have large corporate for you to basically use the talent of France to basically demonstrate to you what we can do. So tell us more about that.
Yeah. So we've seen this transformation that's occurred over the last several years in France. And I have to say, we've been investing in venture capital since 2012. And we focused on North America and later in China as that developed. Europe was not a priority, although we have research, we have had venture capital in the oil and gas industry. What we've seen lately is a real transformation in France, where we've seen the startup, I would say, spirit has increased dramatically, and we're seeing a real excitement among the technologists here. And this is what attracted us to France. And so we've started investing in a number of technology companies. We mentioned Pascal, the quantum computing technology.
Great name.
Yes. But I mean, there's many others that we've been, and so that's why we thought we needed to have a presence here. And there's a number of reasons, as we've talked before. You need to really diversify your investment. You cannot be dependent on one market. And that is part of the problem, the challenge we face with AI as well. There are geopolitical tensions, there is competition, and there is a need for, I would call, a neutral or a non-aligned technology access.
Very good. Now, I saw that you got an amazing booth here, that you are trying also to have prototyping of in excess of 400 applications within your company on AI. I was amazed by the training platform that you have been building up with the concept, the adoptions within the 73,000 employees of Aramco in importance. So what is your standard? That what are the learnings you got for the last 1 or 2 years after the HPE phase that you went through?
We've been doing a lot of AI in the past 10, 15 years, machine learning. And the new element that has come in, of course, is large language models and generative AI. Initially, we're experimenting. As the previous speaker talked about, you need to try your own challenges. You need to be able to develop your own use cases. And right now we are developing about 400 use cases on our own. We are, of course, leveraging technology from others, but we need to have mastery of the technology ourselves. So a big part of it is training. I talked about the 3 components. The infrastructure, we have invested in infrastructure. We've invested in the data, we have inherited, and we continue to invest in some of the largest data sets in the world in terms of quantitative data, as well as non-structured data. But now it's the talent. We really need to have everyone as becoming an AI aware at least, not necessarily an AI professional, but we need to have a large group of AI professionals. So we've been training our people, thousands actually. We have put in so many training programs to get our subject matter experts.
And is there 1 or 2 implementation that you can talk to us about that you are very proud of? I remember when we did the visit of the booth, you talk about basically the drilling and so on. So 1 or 2, right?
Absolutely.
The point.
So we showed at the booth the live Earth model. The live Earth model allows us basically to see below the ground. Basically, it's a model of the Earth underground. As you're drilling down in there, you can't see, you have to trust your models. And the idea is to basically drill in the pay zone, in the area where the oil is located. And that can be 100 feet wide, it can be 10 feet wide, so you can miss it if your models are wrong. But by having indirect measurements like resistivity, temperature, and others, we can model the behavior of the drill bit and the distance, and then correct the Earth model, correct the distances, so that you actually are always directing your drill bit in the pay. That can cost, if you're improving that by 10%, you're improving your cost by 10%. And tremendous amount of cost. If you're looking at a drilling rig, that's hundreds of thousands up to $1 million a day. That can be extremely expensive. Every foot counts. Every foot costs you thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you miss your target, you're off by maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those are the kind of savings you make with the kind of AI that applies to real physical AI. And that's the point I wanted to make. Where we are applying AI is in the physical world, the real world, where it really delivers value, tremendous value. I know a lot of people talk about AI today as a hype, but in fact, AI has tremendous potential. And I think what we've got now, we've had the AI models for the quantitative world, and we've been very successful. Now with unstructured data, it opens up a whole new opportunity to take text and knowledge of individuals and be able to model that. That is the amazing thing about generative AI and the new AI models that we're applying. So this will multiply even what we've benefited already from the physical AI.
So the kingdom is going through what we call the Vision 2030, right? You are trying to industrialize your country. You are a powerhouse of industry, which out of the IT, the research and technology you have been developing helps the kingdom to really embrace the next 10 to 20 years. When you think about us in Europe, and if I may ask you a piece of advice, right? You have partnerships at the physical AI level on the chip. You are doing your own data centers. You've been also trying to work very hard on some unique applications, mainly, but not only in the industrial space. In your view, as an observer and a road runner throughout the world over the last 30 years, a graduate from MIT, give me one or two hints or advice on what else we can do in Europe. I love what Vincent Luciani said. Stop to basically just look at Americas and be afraid of what we are. We have immense talent here, 1,000 startups. So what else can we do?
So I think that what is interesting, especially in France and in Europe, is the basic sciences, the strength of the basic sciences, the math and the physics, the chemistry. And that's, I think, a great opportunity, because in many other areas, it has become more about engineering and practical solutions. But if you really want to have disruption, you need to work on the basic science. And I think there's a lot of the application of AI in science is a really exciting opportunity. We are, for example, utilizing AI in our R&D to discover new materials. So basically...
So on which area should we focus in Europe?
Where I think in Europe, being able to take some of the research that has been done in many of the basic sciences and applying AI to that could be a great value generator, because, for example, the pharmaceuticals industry in Europe is quite strong, basic science industry, accelerated with AI.
Energy transitions. You, in your Vision 35 plans, you want to move yourself, the country of the oil, the fossil, right, energy, you want to move to 50% renewable.
Exactly.
Give me a word on that.
So in renewables, I mean, we have a lot of investment, of course, in renewables in the kingdom. Aramco itself is a big investor in renewables. Our target is to get to about 12 gigawatts for Aramco. The rest of the country is going to go to 100 gigawatts, about 50% of our capacity in 2030. So there's a lot of related research. For example, energy storage. Energy storage technology is all material science. Material science can benefit tremendously from AI applications. So I think in those types of areas, the use of AI to accelerate and to improve materials is a great opportunity that I think we're just scratching the surface on today.
Good. So maybe as a final point, since we're very pleased to welcome you, we hope this is the first edition. This morning I had the privilege to address in excess of 18 ambassadors, which all mentioned that they want to really come here. You know, in France, we've got now the Summit of AI that Anne Bouvreau talked about, the VivaTech event, which become by all dimensions the most important event. So we are trying to hope that with a private initiative, Artifact and Adopt AI will become here. Will you advise us to continue the same? Should we get more focus on the industry, which is a kind of start, finance, health, based on the amazing view that you have? Where should we bring, or where our friend from Artifact should bring this event?
I believe that the one area where people have not yet really taken advantage of AI has been in the industry yet. We are still just experimenting with AI. We're still doing POCs. I think there's a huge opportunity to expand the use of AI in heavy industry, as well as in all of the other, I would say, businesses, physical businesses. And I think there's tremendous opportunity in robotics, for example, to help accelerate or to help improve efficiencies in manufacturing. So I think we're just touching the surface here. The opportunities are amazing, and across Europe and around the world, the opportunity to reindustrialize using AI and robotics is a golden opportunity, given the, for example, in many areas, population is a challenge, working age populations. I think robotics are going to open up new opportunities and create much greater opportunities for those. Yes, we will lose some jobs, but there's going to be many, many more jobs created through the productivity that we talked about. I think we have a great opportunity to collaborate and to see how we can create collaborations across countries, especially in the areas where I would say kind of non-aligned, where we outside of the major centers. Saudi Arabia is one of those that has the ambition to invest in technology, in AI infrastructure, but also in the application of AI in industry. I think many countries have a similar kind of ambition, and there's where there needs to be collaboration.
Ahmad, I want to really to thank you, all the management of Aramco. I think they deserve a big round of applause because they made this event possible. Thank you. Come back next year. Make sure that we're going to be there.
Great. Thank you, Pascal.